the Acoustic Guitar Build Series.
Episode 4. Okay, folks, so if you recall the last episode, we bent the sides. Okay, and they turned out pretty good.
We had used that machine over there.
Yes, we used the side bender to bend the sides. All right. So now, what we have to do is glue the blocks on it, the tail block and the neck block and the tail block. So I've already made those, but I will talk about them for a second if you want to take a look at them. So this will be the tail block. Okay, it's just made out of mahogany. And this is it's about 3 inches wide and about 4 3/4 tall or something. And I just did it on the table saw, made the little miters, and the back here has a little bit of a radius to it. I don't know if you can tell. It's slightly curved on the back. And I just did that on the belt sander. I just put it on and did that sort of motion on the belt sander just to get a little radius so that it fits the mold. Okay, and then here is the neck block, which is a little more complicated. This is where the neck will meet the body, right here. And I do a bolt-on neck on my guitars. Some people do a dovetail neck. You can do either one.
What's the diff?
Well, a bolt-on neck has 2 bolts that hold the neck on. A dovetail neck doesn't have any bolts. It's just like a wedge of wood. They're a little harder to make, and they're a lot harder to get apart. So the reason I do a bolt-on neck is if you ever have to take the neck off, it's a lot easier to do with a bolt-on neck. So anyway, and then I routed out this little channel here so that the bolts will go here, and then I made this little cover plate that will cover up the bolts. Okay, so you don't see the bolts. And this will be guitar number 57. So that's where I put my serial number. So now what we have to do is basically glue this on to the sides, sort of like that. Okay, so I'll show you how I do that. Okay, so before we can glue the blocks on, what I've done is I've traced a little line here on this side and on this side. And there's a square line to the flat side, where the top's gonna be. And that's gonna be the exact length that I need the side to be. So first what we're gonna do is trim the wood down to this line. And I'll just use the sander right quick and we'll trim those down. So I got the sides trimmed to length on each side. So now they're the right length. And now we can start to glue the side to the block. So what I do is I always start with the neck block. You can do either one first. You need a few of these little squeeze clamps. That's what I use. And what I will do is, first of all, remember when we cut the sides, the back has a little bit of a radius to it, but the top is flat. So we want to make sure the top is where the top is going to be on the neck block. So got the flat side up, and I'm just going to center this. No glue or anything yet. I'm just going to get it right in the middle. So now I just take my clamps and I'm just going to clamp it there just to hold it, okay? So now what I can do is take my other side and I can butt it right up against it like that. Okay, and this provides a fence for me when I'm gluing it, because what happens when you glue things is when you clamp it, it wants to slide around a lot. So if you put this clamped here, I can just butt it up next to it and it won't slide around. Okay. So now we can just glue this on there. And I get a pretty good bit of glue, you know, something like that. And I just spread it around with my finger. Okay, just like that. And then I can put it, just butt it up right against it.
Is that just plain old wood glue?
Yep, just tight on. Okay, clamp it on there. And I'll clamp this one. Okay, and there you go. And I've got a decent bit of squeeze out under there. I like to have squeeze out.
You mean glue coming out?
Yeah, that's called squeeze out.
Oh.
To me, if you're gluing something and you don't get squeeze out, you don't have enough glue. Okay, so I'll sort of just wipe it up.
There's some in the back.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. And all that'll get sanded later anyway. But now that's clamped down, so I can take this other side off. And we can glue the other side the same way. This really isn't too hard of a process.
Oh, so you're not gluing them together.
They're just glued to the block.
Oh.
Because a lot of it's going to get routed away here in the middle anyway. Okay, so I got it like that. And I'll just butt it right up there. And then I can just clamp it.
How long will they stay clamped for?
At least an hour. Okay.
Do you ever let them like clamp overnight? Or you shouldn't do that?
You can, yeah. Like if I clamp them at 5 o'clock in the evening, then yeah, I might do that. But got good squeeze out. Just wipe up all the glue excess. Yeah.
Starting to look like a guitar.
A little bit. Yeah, so we'll let that dry for an hour or so. And then we'll flip it over and glue this one on. And
To the butt?
Yeah, to the butt.
What? That's what it's called, I thought.
Yeah. The tail.
Oh, it's
But
the
we
tail.
can call it the butt.
Oh, okay. Alright.
So yeah, we'll come back in about an hour and do the other side. Okay, so it's been a couple hours. So now we're going to take these clamps off and see how we did. Okay, see now that's holding it very nicely. What I'm going to do is take a router with a flush trim bit. And I'm just going to route away all the excess right there.
What did that do?
Just where the sides met there, I just routed them away so that this channel's open. And it gets little dust everywhere. So there you go. You could do that later, but I just like to do it now, just because it's easier. Okay, so now it's time to glue the tail block on, which is literally the same process as the neck block. So I drew a little center line on there just to know where I'm at. And I'm just gonna line it right up on that line. Okay. And then just as before, I'm gonna clamp it in place. And again, that allows me just to butt this up right next to it like that, okay? So take my tight bond and do a nice little bead of glue. I'm pretty liberal with the glue on this. And just spread it all around. Just like so. All right, now take our clamps and just clamp it right on there. Get lined up the best I can anyway. Okay, looks pretty good. And do this side. Sometimes it takes a minute to fool around with it. There we go. We got a good squeeze out. And then I'll just do the same thing for this side. Nice bead of glue. And then just spread it out. Put it over here. And the reason I'm liberal with the glue, because these blocks is what basically holds the whole guitar together, so you don't want it coming loose.
Have you ever put too little glue?
No, not on this I haven't.
Maybe you have to crease, I don't know.
Okay, now I'm just gonna wipe up my squeeze out. Can I get the camera right there? See how there's glue squeeze out under there? Yeah, that's kind of what you're looking for. If I didn't see that, then I would know I didn't have enough glue, basically. So I'm just gonna wipe it off. And that's it. We got the blocks glued on. So everything looks really good. Yeah, and this thing's starting to look like a guitar a little bit, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's pretty much this episode. And the next episode we'll put in the little engraft thingy. Yeah, then go from there.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, notification bell, whatever.